Good morning, brethren. The verse that I want us to think about this morning is from Psalm 27. It's verse 4, and this is how it reads. One thing have I asked of the Lord, that I will seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. Here, the psalmist is expressing the earnest desire that he has to spend as much time as possible in the temple of God, the house of God. Why? Well, it was there that God promised that he would dwell with his people in a very special way. God, of course, was among his people in their everyday situations and circumstances in life. But God had promised that in a very special way he would meet with his people when they came before him to the temple to worship. And this man who wrote this psalm longs to enter into and enjoy that experience as often and for as long as he can. We could put it into modern language and say he loved to go to worship God, because when he did that, he was able to think about God, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord. He was able to reflect upon this great God as he sung praise to God, as the scriptures were read, and he was able to inquire in his temple. He was able to sit and be taught more about his God. And that's why he says that he would love to dwell there all the days of his life. Now, he's using hyperbole, of course. He had responsibilities and he had tasks and duties with regards to his own life. But this was his desire. In these days, when the churches have been considerably affected as a result of COVID-19, sometimes having to close the doors of their buildings in order to comply with government regulations, let me ask you a question. Do you really miss going to the place of worship, gathering literally, physically with the people of God, not online, not sitting in your car in a car park, but actually gathering in the building with God's people as one body? Is that something that you earnestly want and desperately miss if you're not actually engaging in it? Brethren, it should be. Yes, God is with us throughout the week. Of course he is. He's with us when we have our daily devotions, when we have our family worship, but it is not the same as being with us when we gather as the people of God. Brethren, let us look to our hearts and ask ourselves, how much does worship mean to me? Is it the highlight of my week? Would I be able to say, I wish I could be at worship every day, because there I can gaze upon the beauty of the Lord, and there I can inquire in his temple. This is what worshipping God is all about. It's not about a religious ritual that we go through once a week on a particular day. It's about a desire to be with God and his people. And I trust, brethren, that more and more of you as God's people will so miss the gathering together physically of the people of God in your church building that you will make a point of being there with God's people as they meet each Lord's Day. May God bless you today.